My dear friends, tonight I want to invite you into a realm that very few enter, though all are welcome. This realm is not a place you go to, but a state you awaken within. It is the sacred state of absolute trust, a complete relaxation into the knowledge that what you desire is already yours. For what you seek, you already are. And what you wish to become, you are becoming by assuming that you are it. I speak to you not from theory, but from the eternal truth, echoed by mystics across time. You do not manifest by effort, but by feeling. You do not manifest by striving, but by surrender. You do not need to force the universe. You only need to trust it. You see, the greatest barrier to manifestation is not lack of belief, but the presence of control. We seek to force outcomes, to manipulate circumstances, to anxiously check if our seed has sprouted, not realizing that every time we dig into the soil to look, we uproot the very dream we planted. Let go, let the seed rest in the fertile ground of your imagination. Stop trying to water it with your doubts and fears. It knows what to do. The universe is not separate from you. It is the outer world made from the inner world of your assumptions. It is your servant, not your master. So then, what does it mean to let go? It means to abandon the senses. It means to cease asking, where is it? And instead declare with full conviction, it is done. It means to fall asleep tonight in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. The man who lets go is the man who has assumed the state and knows it is already a fact, though the facts of the outer world have not yet rearranged themselves. He rests, not because the world confirms it, but because his imagination already has. He does not need proof, because his feeling is the proof. Do you understand? Letting go is not about abandoning your desire. It is not apathy. It is not passivity. It is not giving up. No, it is an active surrender, a conscious release. It is the movement from effort to ease. It is the realization that the infinite power that created galaxies is the same power that dwells in you, and it knows how to bring your desire to pass. When you let go, you are not losing control. You are giving it back to the only part of you that truly has it, your imagination. I have said it many times. Your imagination is God. That which you assume in imagination persists until it becomes fact. So to trust the universe is to trust your own imagination. The outer world is only the shadow of the inner world. So when you assume your desire and rest in that state, you do not have to beg or strive. You do not have to worry about the means. The universe takes care of that. It knows how to orchestrate events far beyond your conscious mind. Your only job is to maintain the feeling of the wish fulfilled and then relax. Now, how do you relax? How do you rest when the world seems so loud, so chaotic, so full of contradiction? You go within. You return to the secret place, the silence within you that knows. That sacred space where no one else can enter, where your inner conversations build your world. Most people live on the surface. They react to everything they see. But you are called to go deeper. You are called to be still and know. Relaxation is the fruit of belief. When you believe it is done, you no longer strive. You no longer push. You no longer hustle. You smile, knowing that it is finished. When you close your eyes and enter that silent place, speak not of what is missing. Speak only of what is already yours. Feel it, touch it in imagination. Hear it in your heart. Let the feeling become so real that the outer world must conform, and then let it go. Do not wonder if it's coming. Do not ask how it will arrive. That is not your domain. Your domain is the state of being, the state of having, the state of already being the person you wish to be. Trust does not say, I hope. Trust says, I know. We must learn to rest in the unseen. That is where the true power lies. For the unseen is not unreal. It is more real than the seen. Your current world is only a delayed reflection of past assumptions. What you assume now becomes the new pattern. You must not be discouraged by appearances, for they are always behind. Let the world be what it is. It will catch up. Your only responsibility is to sustain the inner state. Live there. Rest there. Dwell in the end. Have you ever planted a seed and screamed at the soil for results? Of course not. You water it. You allow the sun to shine. You trust the process. Manifestation is no different. If you would just let go of the need to control how and when, and instead focus on knowing that it is done, you would see miracles. The moment you stop resisting life, it flows. The moment you relax, you receive. The moment you stop needing it to happen, it does. Trusting the universe is simply trusting your deeper self. It is knowing that the God within you is already moving mountains. It is knowing that everything is working for you, even when you can't see it yet. If you feel tension, anxiety, or urgency, it means you are doubting. You are trying to do it alone. Come back. Return to the feeling. Feel the joy of having, the peace of knowing, the calm of being. When you feel that, you can walk through life with serenity, knowing that all things are falling into place. Do you remember the story of the man who desired wealth? He did not chase money. He did not beg for it. He assumed the feeling of wealth. He felt himself to be rich, not someday, but now. He wore that feeling like a cloak. He lived from it. He walked as though it were true. And then, without effort, the means came. A job appeared. An idea emerged. An opportunity arose. But he did not orchestrate it. He received it, because he had let go of the need and taken up the assumption. So many of us want to know the path before we begin. But the truth is, the path reveals itself only after the assumption. You do not see the bridge until you have crossed it in imagination. Letting go means you are no longer looking for signs. You are no longer desperate for evidence. You are no longer a beggar in your own kingdom. You are a creator, a king, a queen. You decree the end and the universe rearranges itself to fit that decree. The bridge of incidents will unfold. Yes, but do not interfere. Do not analyze every moment. Let it come. Be light. Be still. Be certain. For when you relax, your vibration rises. Your energy softens. Your mind opens. And in that openness, you receive inspiration. Right people show up. Doors open. Synchronicities multiply. But none of it happens through tension. It all happens through surrender. We have been taught that control equals power. But in spiritual truth, the one who controls least, receives most. The one who trusts, ascends. The one who relaxes, magnetizes. Why? Because trust is faith in action. Trust is knowing that the unseen is already done. Trust is feeling rich before the money, feeling love before the partner, feeling healed before the diagnosis. It is not denial of facts. It is the affirmation of a higher truth. You must become blind to the old world. You must walk by imagination and not by sight. And yes, the mind will scream. The ego will resist. The world will tempt you to react. But your only task is to persist in the assumption and rest. Do not be moved by shadows. They have no power. Only the inner world creates. When you live this way, you become a vessel for grace. Life feels easy. Opportunities come not by striving, but by alignment. You are no longer seeking. You are allowing, no longer begging, but receiving. For the kingdom of heaven is within you. And all things, yes, all things are added unto you when you seek first the inner state. This is the secret. This is the mystery. This is the truth. When the doubt comes, and it will, you return again to the feeling. The only thing that proves a desire is manifesting is your ability to rest. If you cannot rest, you have not assumed. If you still need to ask, you are still lacking. Go back within. Close your eyes. Step into the scene that would imply your desire is fulfilled. Hear the words of congratulations. See the world as you want it to be. And then open your eyes with a smile, knowing it is done. This is how you trust. This is how you let go. You do not need to know how the universe will do it. That is none of your business. The how is the territory of the higher mind. Your only responsibility is the what and the who. What do you desire? Who must you be to receive it? Assume that identity. Embody that feeling. And then let go of the rest. I promise you this, when you live in this way, you will witness the miraculous. You will see the world bend to your inner conviction. You will watch as what once seemed impossible becomes inevitable. You will realize that manifestation is not something you do, but something you allow. It is not a technique. It is a state. And in that state of trust, all things are yours. So tonight I ask you, are you willing to let go of doubt? Are you willing to release control? Are you willing to rest in the truth that your desire is already a fact in the unseen? If you are, then you are already living in the end. You are already receiving. You are already one with your vision. Let that be enough. Let that be your joy. You are the operant power. You do not have to wait. You do not have to ask permission. Go within, claim it, assume it, and rest. Relax, let go. Trust, and watch how life begins to move for you, not against you. Watch how easily the universe brings you the very things you thought were far away. It is already done. When you truly allow yourself to dwell in that knowing, you will see just how much of your life had been shaped by effort that was unnecessary. You will see that the moment you assumed your wish was fulfilled and released the desperate need for confirmation, the universe began to align everything in your favor. What you used to think of as hard work will now appear as a gentle unfolding. What once felt like struggle will be replaced by ease. The resistance you felt was never from the universe withholding from you, it was from your own mind clinging to the old assumptions of lack, of fear, of unworthiness. When you let go, truly let go, those illusions dissolve. You may find that situations that once caused you anxiety no longer disturb your peace. Why? Because your peace is now rooted in the truth of who you are. Not the facts of today but the truth of your being. You know yourself as the one who imagines and brings forth. You no longer look to circumstances to define your identity. You define your circumstances by how you feel within. This is the radical truth that transforms the outer world, bends to your inner conviction, not the other way around. This is why relaxation is the great secret. For only in a relaxed state can the subconscious mind receive the new instruction. Only in stillness can the seed be planted deeply. Most people try to impress the subconscious while full of anxiety, but that is like trying to carve a masterpiece into moving water. It cannot hold the form. But the man who relaxes, who becomes still and quiet and assured, his mind becomes like still clay. And into that clay the impression of the wish fulfilled is pressed and held. And that impression hardens into fact. So I ask you now, can you let go of the noise? Can you stop trying to fix the outer world and instead enter into the inner world where the real work is done? Can you lie down in imagination as one who already possesses the thing he seeks? Can you see yourself from the mountaintop, rather than the valley? That is what it means to live in the end. And when you live in the end, you don't worry about the steps. The steps appear as needed. The bridge of incidents may come in ways you never expected, but it will come. You may receive an intuitive nudge to act. Follow it, not out of fear, but from inspiration. Trust that each movement is a piece of the tapestry, even if it doesn't make sense in the moment. Because your higher self sees more than your eyes can see. It knows the quickest path, and often that path is not the one you would choose with logic. But logic is limited. Imagination is infinite. Trusting the universe means trusting that the infinite intelligence operating within you knows exactly how to deliver. Many of you will feel the urge to return to the old habit, checking, analyzing, doubting. That's normal. The mind has been conditioned to seek control. But you are not your conditioning. You are the one who observes it. And in that moment of awareness, you can choose again. You can say, no, I already have it. And with that, drop the weight. You don't have to carry the burden of how. You only carry the vibration of having. This is why those who seem to manifest easily are often those who live in joy. They are light-hearted, detached, playful with their desires. They do not grip them tightly like a drowning man. They float with the feeling. They trust. They understand that the universe responds not to need but to alignment, not to begging but to being. When you embody the version of you who already has the thing, the universe must respond, not because you forced it, but because you became it. When you become it, the world mirrors it back. People speak to you differently. Opportunities arrive, doors open, not because you knocked frantically, but because you carried the key in your consciousness. You must understand that every outcome is tied to a state of being. So when you choose the state consciously, and dwell there long enough for it to harden into reality, there is no force in the world that can stop its materialization. It may come subtly. You may not even notice when the shift happens. One day you simply look up and realize it's here. The life you imagined has arrived. Not because you struggled for it, but because you aligned with it. And this is the divine paradox. By letting go, you allow in. By doing less, you receive more. By trusting instead of controlling, you co-create with the infinite. People will ask you what you did, and you may smile. Because you know you didn't do anything in the conventional sense. You simply became the version of yourself that already had it. You rested in the end. You stopped reacting and began imagining. You stopped chasing and began assuming. And in that assumption, you found peace. In that peace, you found power. And from that power, everything else came. This is why I say, do not worry if you do not yet see results. Do not panic if nothing seems to be happening. Something is happening, even when it's invisible to your senses. You are shifting states. You are moving timelines. You are allowing the old world to dissolve and the new world to emerge. But you must not resist. Resistance is the only thing that delays the process. Let it unfold. Let it bloom in its own time. And while you wait, don't wait in fear. Wait in faith. Keep your mind fixed on the end. Keep the feeling alive. You don't need to repeat affirmations endlessly if the feeling is present. The feeling is the prayer. The feeling is the command. The feeling is what impresses upon the subconscious the reality of the unseen. And once that impression is made, it will manifest just as surely as the acorn becomes the oak. Your greatest task then is to relax into the knowing, not the hoping, the knowing. Knowing that what you desire is already yours. Knowing that the world is clay in your hands. Knowing that your assumptions are the blueprints of your reality. And once you know, you act from that knowing. You move through life not as one who needs, but as one who has. Not as one who chases, but as one who chooses. It is a different way of living. A quieter, deeper, more profound way. The world may not understand it, but that does not matter. Let them keep hustling, striving, stressing. You have found a deeper truth. You have learned the art of surrender. And in that surrender, you have discovered the greatest secret of all, that you were never separate from your desire. You were simply not yet resting in it. But now you are. Now you know how to feel it before you see it. Now you know how to relax, even when appearances contradict your inner vision. Now you know that nothing can be denied the one who knows it is already his. And that knowing becomes your foundation. That peace becomes your power. That trust becomes your miracle. And it grows. The more you trust, the more evidence you receive. The more you let go, the more the universe shows up for you. The more you relax, the more effortlessly things come. And soon your whole life becomes a reflection of your inner stillness. A mirror of your inner wealth. A manifestation of your inner assumptions. So if today you are feeling tired of effort, exhausted from striving, weary from the chase, this is your invitation. Let go. Drop the rope. Enter the silence. Assume the end. And rest. The universe is not your opponent. It is your canvas. Paint it with your inner world. Speak to it with your imagination. Trust it with your stillness. And let it deliver to you what you already are. As you continue in this state of restful awareness, you will begin to notice how your world transforms itself with no strain at all. Circumstances reshape. Conversations shift. People behave in ways that align with your new assumption, not because you changed them, but because you changed your concept of self. For everything you meet in the world is yourself pushed out. The entire universe echoes the tone you set within. So when you begin to live from the state of already having what you desire, when you feel that truth as natural and familiar, the universe reflects it back faithfully. This is not a method of force, but of surrender to your creative authority. The world responds not to the frantic plea, but to the silent knowing. The one who is relaxed, who trusts, who rests in the wish fulfilled. This one speaks the language of the infinite. This one carries the signal that life recognizes and obeys. There is no panic, no impatience, no frantic activity. Just stillness, just alignment, just a quiet certainty that says, it is done. In that space, miracles become normal. They no longer astonish you, because they feel like the most natural thing in the world. You expected them, not with arrogance, but with faith. You knew they were coming, because you already received them in consciousness. You did not need the evidence to believe. You believed, and then the evidence appeared. That is the order of creation. That is the divine pattern. First within, then without. First assumption, then expression. It may take courage at first to trust so deeply. Your old mind will try to protect you, to warn you of disappointment, to say, what if it doesn't work? But that voice is not truth. That voice is memory. It is the echo of past experiences lived without the awareness of your true power. It is not prophecy. You are under no obligation to carry it forward. You can drop it right now. You can choose right now to feel that your desire is already yours, and rest in that conviction. I tell you, the moment you do, really do, something shifts. Something unseen rearranges. You won't feel the urgency anymore. You won't be grasping for signs. You'll be too busy enjoying the feeling of having. And from that place of enjoyment, things come easily, playfully, abundantly. You no longer treat manifestation as an emergency, but as a form of art. You become an artist of inner reality, a poet of vibration, a sculptor of states. Others may look at your life and say you are lucky. They will not see the invisible work you did in imagination. They will not know how many hours you spent dwelling in the state of the wish fulfilled. How many mornings you woke up and chose the feeling of success before your feet touched the floor. How many nights you drifted to sleep, imagining the joy of already being the one you chose to be. But the universe knew, and the universe responded. Because it always does. It cannot fail. It is law, and the law is impersonal. It does not judge your worthiness or your past. It only reflects your dominant assumption. If you assume lack, it gives you more lack. If you assume abundance, it gives you more abundance. If you assume peace, it orchestrates events to match that peace. So the only thing you must do is persist in the assumption that serves you, and relax into it. That is your only task. To dwell in the inner state long enough that it becomes your natural home. You are not trying to convince the universe. You are convincing yourself. You are rewriting the script of your own identity. And once that script is rewritten, everything else must follow. That is why your inner conversations matter. The way you speak to yourself when no one is watching. That is the seed of your external life. Change the self-talk. And the story must change. But you cannot bully yourself into this. You must gently, lovingly, consistently assume the new identity. As you do, everything starts to shift. Opportunities arise that seem divinely timed. Solutions appear without effort. People come into your life who reflect your new state. You look around and realize the world is no longer resisting you. It's cooperating with you. But in truth, it always was. It was only responding to the vibration you were offering. When that vibration changed, the results changed. You became a different version of you. And that version lived a different life. Do you see now why letting go is so powerful? Because letting go of the old state is what allows the new state to take root. You can't live in two realities at once. You must release the old to embrace the new. And the easiest way to do that is through relaxation, through faith, through surrender. Not surrender as weakness, but surrender as alignment. You are not giving up. You are allowing. You are not quitting. You are trusting. Trust is the language of creation. It says, I don't need to know how, because I already know that it is done. And from that knowing, you act. You move through life like one who has already received. And life must comply. It cannot help but comply, because it is your reflection. And reflections do not argue. They obey the image presented to them. So present the image of your ideal life. Not with effort, but with ease. Not with force, but with faith. This is the great secret, hidden in plain sight. The less you try, the more you allow. The more you release, the more you receive. The more you relax, the more the universe works for you. You are not separate from the power that creates worlds. It is within you. It responds to you. But only when you stop shouting at it with fear, and start whispering to it with faith. So I ask you again, can you let go? Can you relax? Can you rest in the assumption that all is well, all is done, all is yours? Because the moment you do, everything begins to move. Not from strain, but from flow. Not from effort, but from grace. Not from lack, but from fullness. That is the life you are meant to live. That is the truth of who you are. The rest is illusion. The rest is noise. Let it go. Return to the stillness. Return to the feeling. Return to the end. And trust. So now I leave you with this truth, etched into your very being. You do not need to fight for what is already yours. You do not need to chase, beg, plead, or prove. All you need to do is assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and rest in it. Let go of the noise. Let go of the struggle. Let go of the belief that manifestation must be hard. It is not hard. It is natural. It is natural. It is law.
The universe is not waiting for your effort. It is waiting for your surrender. When you dare to relax, when you have the courage to trust, and when you finally let go of all that contradicts your desire, you will witness miracles, not because you forced them, but because you allowed them. Your world will begin to echo your inner stillness, and you will finally understand. The secret was never in doing more, but in being more. In being the version of you who already has it. In being the one who simply knows. It is done. Now go forward. Not in striving, but in stillness. Not in effort, but in ease. Not in doubt, but in deep, unwavering faith. The life you dream of is already yours. Simply assume it. Relax and trust the universe to bring it to you in ways more perfect than you could ever imagine.